Rob and Slim Show.
Hey there, Robin Slim. It's Kevin Interdonato. How's it going, guys?
Good.
What's
How
going
you
on,
doing,
Kevin?
Kevin?
All right, all right. Hey, thanks again for having me on. I'm sorry about last time, guys. I just was in a jam.
Dude, you had a lot of stuff going on, man. You had that movie, Bad Frank, you were filming, right?
Yeah, Bad Frank. Well, we're in post-production. I'm sorry, not post. We're in the festivals, really, but just getting everything together for the cell and stuff. It's a pretty daunting task. So It's just a lot of stuff, yeah. But how you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Awesome.
All right, out in Cali.
Yeah.
Rained the past couple of days, which is really nice. Feels like back home. Everyone else freaks out, and it's so funny when it rains out here. All the stores open late, and people are like scared to drive. It's like
No.
like pansy land, man. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah,
Oh,
I know, dude.
So
You're
fun.
from out here. You're from Howell, right?
I'm from Howell. I grew up in Howell, and I spent God 1, 2, 3, and I was drunk most of the time. But I think 7 years in Belmar, Belmar Beach.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of work in there. I used to work for the Rats.
Oh, get out! My buddy used to work for the Rat, man. Years ago, John Villa. Does that ring a bell?
It does a little bit. Yeah, I'm not absolutely positive, but it sounds familiar. Sounds
He
familiar.
was one of the folks there. So you worked with Rock and Robin and
Yes.
Steve Hawk and all them, right?
Yeah, dude. Steve Hook is awesome. Uncle Leo, Carl Kraft.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a
Good
fun
stuff.
bunch, man. That's awesome. Do you ever come back out to Jersey?
All the time, yeah. I have to. I got to get the hell out of here. So I try to come home like at least every 3 months. Yeah.
Dude, you got to come on live sometime, man.
I would love to. I would love to,
That'd
man.
be cool. Why did you move to Cali from here? Like, was it just dead out here as far as like acting went?
You know, at the time I moved, it was New Jersey. I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but New Jersey lost its tax credit, so a lot of the films and TV shows just stopped. And
I saw an interview
New
with
Jersey.
you saying that, and the guy you were talking to said even the one film festival that was at in Asbury, it had moved because of, I guess it got too expensive or something.
Yeah, it's always money, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jersey lost theirs, and then at the time, we were talking 6.5 years ago, New York lost theirs.
Oh wow!
So I worked for my family. My father's construction business. It's a family business, and at the time, I always had one foot in. I did the best I could in the East Coast there, but losing the tax credits, there wasn't a lot of work, and basically my brother, who also worked with the company, he was like, Kev, you gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And I made a choice. It would have been New York or LA. I really didn't want to go across the country. All my family and my friends and everything are back home, but no tax credit in New York, so I made the jump. And it turned out to be it worked out in my favor. A lot of work, very eye-opening, but things have been working out. So
Jersey's
and I
hard
found,
to leave, man. It's like people say it's a trap. Yeah, you got your family, you got your friends, you love them, but the fucking place sucks. The jobs, everything sucks.
You know something though, guys? I swear, if the tax credit was there, I mean, it's back in New York, so it's actually in the cards that I might come back sooner than later. We'll see. But if the film industry was still relevant and New Jersey was still active and more stuff happened in Jersey, man, I would never leave.
Yeah.
I would have never left.
That's cool. Well, I saw too. You started in like 2001, right? You were on Sopranos, Law and Order. You were on CSI.
It started out good. Yeah, you're doing your research, man.
Yeah, you had an awesome run like early on. That's
it started
cool.
out good. Yeah, I was going to acting school and stuff, and I started doing all right early on. And The Sopranos, and then there was like this series. It was short-lived. It was called Next Action Star. I'll never forget it. It was like this reality show, and at the time, to be a working actor, like you got to work a lot. So there's a lot of downtime, and when you don't have a gig, man, it's like pulling hair out. And this reality show called Next Action Star popped up, and I'm like, I'm not doing a freaking reality. Can we curse on this? I don't want to.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
as much as possible.
Ooh, yes.
All right, thank God. So you guys be beeping me all over the place. So I was like, I don't want to do a friggin' reality show, but I realized it was legit. Like this big producer, Joel Silver, was behind it, and you got to do a dramatic scene, a stunt scene every week. So to make a long story go, I bit the bullet. I ended up going. I placed finalists in the country, all that stuff, and it was going to air once a week on NBC, kind of like what's it called? American Idol, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is great. So at the time, I already did the 4th season of The Sopranos, a small couple scenes. They called me up and said, hey, guess what? We want you to come back for the 5th season. I was like, oh, this is crazy. I got a situation here because I might have to go do this next action star thing, and they both can, be happening at the same time. And ironically enough, at the time, I think, I think I was like 6 or 7 years into serving the Army National Guard out of Toms River. That's the unit I was in, and got the call to go to war.
Is that why? I saw that too in your bio that said you had an obligation to go, and I was going to ask you what that obligation was.
That means basically your personal life's fucked and you just got to jump out, and it decided for me. I lost The Sopranos, I lost the show. There's a movie I had lined up, I lost the movie, and and that was it.
Did you feel like you would never get back into acting? Like, did you feel like it could really hurt you? Like, because of that?
Well, you mean when I came back?
Like, just going in, like, did you think you were going to, go back into acting, or did you think it would really hurt your career?
Oh, that's a loaded question, man. I'll be quick with it. When I was over there, obviously it was, it was like a bad dream, and we had a rough time. But thank God, I was very lucky. I came back in one piece, and it took me time, man. I jumped back into the business immediately, and I got with a big agent, or a big manager, and it just didn't feel right, and something was off, and I had to back out, and I took like almost a year off, and I just had to get my head straight, man. And then I really don't know how to get back to things. I had to find myself all over again. So I remember talking to my old man, and my dad kind of broke it down to me. My dad's an old school blue collar guy. He doesn't have to say much to get a lot across, and he said, maybe think about like what the baseball players do when they have a bad season. They just go right back to hitting the ball off the tee. And he was right. I just had to start from bottom again.
From the beginning.
So
man.
Yeah.
What did you do in the military? I saw you led a tour of duty.
What's that, buddy?
When you were in the military, I saw that you led a tour of duty. What did that involve?
Oh, well, that's just kind of military jargon. Just a tour of duty is just really meaning like I got deployed and I served overseas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, did my time, did my thing, and got out of the military, got back into it. A couple of years, things started going good again after a little while, and then made the jump to LA, and here I am. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. What has been your favorites of your acting roles? Was it one of the earlier ones, or has it been one of the more recent ones?
You know what's funny, man? And guys, who's who here? I don't know who's Rob and who's Slim.
I'm Rob.
Rob is doing most of the talking.
Yeah, I'm a real chatty piece of garbage.
I'm Slim, and Slambo is over in the corner here.
He's our intern, our executive intern.
He usually yells and screams obnoxious things, but you're very interesting. So
so I'm actually listening to
you. Oh, man. My favorite role. It's tough to tell because as an actor, most of the time it's about the movie and the role, but it's about the experience of the movie outside of the movie itself. What I mean by that is I call back, like if you guys said, hey, what'd you do in 2010? I would just go back to like movies I did, and it's not exactly because of the role necessarily, but you make good friends doing this stuff. I mean, you connect with people, you have great experiences, you travel. So all that stuff kind of comes into play with an experience of a film. And, I've done so many shitty movies, man, that I'd rather never talk about. But at the same time, I've formed some long-lasting great friendships. So it's hard to say, like, what the best experience is with being general like that. But, you know what I mean, guys? It's just kind of like, it's life, Yeah. But without a doubt, I'd say my favorite role I had so far was probably Bad Frank, yeah.
That's cool. What did that involve? I saw Tom Sizemore was in that. Like how was it working with him?
Great, man. I mean, we didn't have. It's funny because we were like protagonist, antagonist, and the movie takes a pretty wicked turn in the end, so you really don't even know who the protagonist is. But I wish I had more screen time with him. We only had a couple scenes together, but just watching him. Working with him is one thing, but then just watching him and watching his process, Really interesting. He's a great dude, man. Real sweet guy. He got in there with the rest of us. We had a hell of a talented cast and crew. And Tommy came in and just acted like one of the guys, man. And he just jumped in and he just, hit it out of the park. Like, it's one of the best things he's done in a long time, and he even admits that too. It was really, he's incredible in it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, like, I've heard him in interviews, and he just seems like a normal dude. Like, even being, like, so into the business for so long, like, it's still just, like, he's a guy you could just hang out, drink some beers with, and he's just, like, a very, very normal, down-to-earth guy.
Yeah, well, Tommy's sober now, so I don't know about the drinking beer part. Maybe a Sprite. But
Sprite.
It's funny, man. The media and all that bullshit. Like, they're only interested when stuff gets fucked up with someone. Like, they're just bullshit. So whenever you hear about someone in Hollywood, it's like, they're quick to promote the bad but not the good. So, I have nothing bad to say about the guy. Everyone had a pleasurable experience with him, and everyone else on set was wonderful too.
That's cool. Your demo reels, Kevin, are great. What is the project you worked in? You seem to be like a mafia member, and you were talking to some guy, and he's coming out to you that he's gay, and it's just one of the most amazing scenes I've ever seen. Like,
thanks, man. Thanks. Man, that's part of the business that's unfortunate sometimes for actors. That clip, I appreciate what you're saying, man. I wish that movie was a feature, and I wish people could have seen it.
Oh,
but,
okay. Never got anywhere.
Well, it's a short, and sometimes when people make films, not everyone is a businessman. And, making films, I mean, the bare bones of it is when you make a movie, you make an LLC, and that's what controls the film. And some people are just so geared towards the creative that they don't think about how to execute it and get it into the marketplace.
Oh.
And that's how a lot of films flop and die. And some of my best work no one will ever see because it's either in someone's basement on their shelf somewhere or it just didn't get finished.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's the nature of the beast, guys. It's how it goes. That was a fun role to play. It was a fun little movie, but it'll never see the light of day, unfortunately. Yeah. But I appreciate you watching it, man.
I got a question. You had mentioned earlier that you've been in some like bad movies that you don't want to talk about, and I'm curious if that's like, are you do something and you just know on an instinctive level, or it's just something about your personal opinion that it's not a good movie, or do you think it goes well and then you go on the internet and you read reviews and you're like, wow, well these people are right, this movie's shit?
I'd say more towards the latter there. Well, the former, I mean. I think I have a good sense of watching movies because I'm a movie lover at first. That's what I've always been since I was a little kid. So I'm not disillusioned by the business per se. I just love movies, and I think I have a decent taste of what's good and what's not, including if I'm in it. As far as a bad movie is concerned, man, look, a bad movie is a bad movie. It is what it is. There's so many factors that can go wrong or possibly go right. But as far as being in those projects, I mean, that's the risk you take as an actor because you have no control. You do your job, you do the best you can, and then sometimes the people that make the movie don't do the best they can. And that's what gets me, it really burns my ass because you give your all for something. I know when I go in, I go all in. Everything else just stops. And when it's not reciprocated on the other side, it just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So some stuff I won't promote, some stuff I won't talk about. And, it's just kind of rotten. But sometimes, man, things come together, magic happens, and, Bad Frank was a super low budget, and here it is just like blowing doors off at film festivals
I read
now,
that
and,
as a review.
Yeah,
it said,
crazy.
It wasn't a big budget film, but it had some great twists. Even though the one I read a couple. One said it wasn't a completely original idea,
Right.
but it had some twists in there that just made it so good. And your acting in it was great. I read.
Thanks, man.
Is it
Thanks.
available?
I paid that guy off to say that shit. That's why.
Yeah, is Bad Frank available to watch anywhere?
Bad Frank, we just I think we're close to locking a distribution deal. That'll probably be out. I'm gonna say like April, somewhere around there, guys.
Okay.
I'll keep you posted for
Cool.
sure.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
it said Frank. he leads a seemingly normal life, but when a disturbing past reemerges, something precious is taken from him, and his sanity loses control. I want to know. I want to know what the disturbing past is for Frank.
Jeez, should I give it away?
I don't know. I
don't know if I can give things away to you guys. I don't know. It's a really interesting thing. Let's just say that
it's worth watching. It's worth
well,
waiting
there's an external issue that happens when his past catches up to him, and there's a very severe internal issue that comes to surface at the same time. And one way or another, when things happen throughout the story, the real Frank comes out. I'll say that.
Nice. Was it a hard role?
Was it a hard role? Yeah. That's probably why it was the most fun.
Nice.
You get to sink your teeth in something, and the director was great, Tony Germanario, and him and Brandon Heitkamp was one of the producers, and Joe Cernio. I gotta say their names because they're all equally so valuable. Joe Cernio, Peter Dobson, Russ Russo, George Storr, and Andy O'Connell. All these producers were just wonderful to have on set. When Tony and Brandon cast me, I was really just tickled pink to take this part on, and Tony let me do my thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, some directors really micromanage, but Tony was just like, "Go, man, just go," and it was really a hell of an experience. Physically, it was too, man. I gave myself a concussion, blew a hamstring, tore my shoulder out, all kinds of shit happened, but
wow.
It was worth it. It was cool.
That's cool, dude. That's crazy. Like that's a real acting job.
Yeah, everyone did. It wasn't just me, man. Everyone got banged up and went for it, and the whole cast was dying tight. My real life wife played my wife in the movie, and several friends of mine from other movies were in the project. Russ Russo, he's a hell of an actor. I think I did like 5 or 6 movies with him already, and
wow.
Yeah, Brandon Heitkamp, Tommy Sizemore, obviously Lynn Mancinelli, this one, that one. Everyone was just great. You guys are gonna like it.
Cool, dude. Definitely.
Yeah.
What have there any projects you've ever had that you have not enjoyed, that you've had a bad experience?
Yeah. Yeah. But I would never say it out loud, man.
Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna hear this and stuff like that. But sometimes some are not as pleasurable as others. That's all. But I guess that's just work in general,
Yeah.
I think being an actor, there's a huge emotional connection to things. So sometimes when things don't pan out the right way, it's just you walk away with a I guess bad taste in your mouth.
So I'm curious because we've kind of established that when you do a bad movie, it's a bad movie. So my question is, have you ever done a movie that you felt this just sucks, this is shitty, and then it just blows up or just gets really good reception?
No.
your instincts are usually right.
I told you, man. My eyes are very open. Not really, but fortunately enough for me, I'm at the stage of my career after all these years where the projects are getting better and the people I'm working with are better, and you chew away the fat too, who you deal with and work with. There's a lot of screwballs and scumbags in this business, and you just got to chew away the fat. So little by little, the next project that's going to be coming out, next feature, is a really cool movie called Dirty Dead Con Men. And that was a pilot. We made a TV pilot first, and we were considering pitching the show. So we had a couple networks that were interested, but at the end of the day, it would have been a little too much to sacrifice things on our end. So we said, you know what? We shot a certain way. We have enough footage and everything. Let's stick to the other plan B and convert it. So we're in post right now. We're in editing, and we're making that into a feature, and it's cool as hell.
Cool.
Really cool.
That's cool. I was thinking when you were talking about what's going to be good, what's going to be not, what's not going to be good. Like that totally goes for like people when I asked them to come on the show. Like I've kind of got the feel as to who's going to be a good guest. Where when we started, I would ask anybody. And over the years, I've totally been able to tell who is going to be a good guest before I ask
cool.
them.
Yeah, you get that feeling, man. And sometimes actors, man, there is a degree of desperation. So sometimes
Yeah.
you just need money, man. I mean, everyone's got rent and got to eat,
Yeah.
So you just kind of cross your fingers and hope shit works out, So.
Yeah, man. So, what other projects do you have planned for this coming year?
Well, Dirty Dead is the one we're really looking forward to. I mean, first we're gonna get a Bad Frankie to the marketplace, and it's been selling like hotcakes overseas already, which is pretty crazy, man.
Wow.
A lot of foreign countries are buying it already. So Dirty Dead Con Men is next, and a couple projects. One's called Sean Royal. Well, it's called Royal, Sean Royal. They're still playing with the name, and that's about a true story about a Philly cop, a detective that just has one hell of a story to tell. And I was lucky enough to get asked to play the lead role in that by John Charles Hunt, and we're just trying to lock in some development stuff right now. So once that goes, we'll be shooting in Philly. Really looking forward to that, man.
Cool.
Yeah, and then a couple other ones on the burners, guys. I think it's a little premature to drop it out there,
yeah.
but I'll keep you posted. But yeah, things are on the up, man. Things are cool. Thanks for asking.
No problem, dude. That's some exciting stuff. That cop story sounds cool.
Yeah, it should be. Just kind of dig in and go for it. It's this guy that's kind of like, he's an obsessive cop. Remember Pacino in Heat? That kind of obsessive nature he has.
Yeah.
Similar to that, this guy was just a real, die-hard, hard-nosed, hard-boiled cop.
Nice.
And he's going after this crazy case, and while he's on the case, his wife actually is a closet drug addict, and she goes missing. So while he's trying to solve the case, he's also trying to find his wife, and it's just this crazy ending. So I'm looking forward to putting myself through hell and living that one out. I can't wait.
Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah. Kevin, thank you so much for talking to us, dude. We have to start wrapping this up, but where can everybody find you?
I'm pretty active on Twitter, man. It's at Kevin Intro. So if anybody wants to say what's up, man, I'm always checking and saying hello back and all that good stuff. And you can always go to my website too. It's kevininterdonato.com.
Awesome, dude. And I will definitely, when the show comes out and the interview, I will tweet it to you and all that good stuff.
Cool. I really appreciate it. And thanks again, guys. This is fun. I'm glad I got a chance to chat with you, and I will be in touch for sure.
Me too, man. Excellent.
All right, guys. Good luck with everything. Take care then.
Thanks, you too. Have a good one, bro.
Have a good one.